I own a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays. Probably too many, some would say. And what's the most embarrassing thing about owning this much is looking at shelves and going, wait, I actually haven't watched that movie that I paid money for. And so with this video series, I want to solve that problem by going through all of these, sometimes unopened Blu-rays and deciding, do I need to have this? Space is at a premium where I live, and do I need some of these movies that I was excited about when I bought them, but now I haven't even watched them, so should they stay on the shelf? This is what we're going to decide with this subject, and today's episode is about Death Rage. Death Rage is an Italian film that was released in 1976. I bought it because it was directed by Antonio Margheriti, one of my favorite Italian directors. Love his stuff, very undervalued. And this was a Eurocrime film, pretty much his only Eurocrime film that he ever made. So right there is a point of interest. The idea of this being the only one that he made, it's gotta be good, right? It has to have all of his ideas that he had throughout his filmography. The handheld camera work, the use of miniatures. He's a really fun action director. In Cannibal Apocalypse, which is one of his pictures, he pioneered the guy shot through the stomach and you see through it to the person that did the shooting. You also got Yul Brynner in this, old Baldy himself. This has got to be fun, right? Well, it is a Eurocrime film. And Eurocrime films are often very all over the place, that there's not that much momentum. Sometimes the action scenes aren't that hot, which is kind of the case in this movie. It's very scattershot, and it's not focused on Yul as the protagonist, a hitman that comes back to Italy to take revenge because someone that he knew has been killed. There is a huge canvas of characters running around doing stuff, but if there were enough exciting moments, it would make a film like Death Rage worthwhile, right? Okay, this is the tough thing. I don't usually watch movies deciding, do I keep it or do I not keep it? But for this time, I had to, so I was 100% dialed in. And I really enjoy that this Blu-ray release, which was put out by Dark Force Entertainment, is clearly from an Italian theatrical print, so it's got a little bit of a red tint on it. There's a lot of damage. It jumped from Italian to English because if they had an Italian print and they wanted to do the English dub, that means they had to get shorter source because the English version of this film is shorter, so it keeps jumping from Italian to English. I like all of that stuff. It gives it a nice texture. But there just wasn't that much in Death Rage for me to attach myself to. Maybe Margheriti only made one Eurocrime film because he couldn't really find a point of interest to it. He seems kind of disconnected, and it's got a journeyman feel that you don't always see in Margheriti films, like the Vietnam exploitation films that he made. Those are bananas. He is trying to entertain as much as he can. His spaghetti westerns, delightful. So it's with a heavy heart that I say, Death Rage, not that hot. Hurt even more by the fact that this was released in Germany, and if I was a completionist, they have all three versions of the film on the German Blu-ray. But the extended versions, the Italian ones, are not subtitled on the German Blu-ray. While this is clearly the Italian print with subtitles, every now and then, sometimes they actually aren't available when they speak Italian, but it's the most complete version probably that's out there, and it exists on this Blu-ray that, I'm going to be honest, I'm never going to watch again. I could put it back on my shelf because I want a complete Margheriti collection, but the reality is, I don't need a complete Margheriti collection. I can just have the ones that I like the most. And usually I would hold on to a disc like this if there were special features I was very excited about, but no, it just, a new transfer, and Yul himself does a smoking commercial on this. So, I'm going to have to say, I'm going to give this one away. And because this is the first video of this subject, if you hear everything that I said, you're like, well, I love all of this stuff. It doesn't need to be great. I could enjoy just the parts of it, which is usually how you should watch most movies. Then write it down below. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll know if you didn't. And write, hey, I would like to give this movie a try, and I will randomly pick someone, and I will mail this Blu-ray off to you. So, while this one was not for me, I still have gigantic piles of other Eurocrime films sitting on my shelf that I haven't watched. At least I have eliminated this one and made one more space on those way too covered shelves to replace it with something maybe that I'll enjoy a little bit more. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I'm doing more videos to get more subscribers, to do this more often. And if you enjoy this conversation about Blu-rays, make sure to check out the Bay Street Video Podcast, where me and Mark Hansen talk about all the new notable Blu-rays and DVDs every week from Bay Street Video, a brick and mortar video store where I actually bought Death Rage. So check out the link below, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.